Hello, and welcome to another session of BMC's YouTube mainframe channel. My name is Tom Nurse, and I'm a senior software consultant at BMC. Today's topic, MainView console management, triggering rules in RDL2 and forms. Is a rule firing? Has it been properly applied? Let's take a look at some rules and an easy way to troubleshoot if a rule should be firing. Let's start in the viewer. We can see we have a number of active sessions in the main message area, and that some of the important messages, that is those that are non-blue or green, are being put into the priority area above. Nearly every customer has some form of this rule in production. So let's take a look at that rule. First, let's go into this particular automation server. We're going to edit it. Then click on Rules to look at the rules that are assigned. Let's select a session, say BMC-A, and we can see the rules that are assigned to it, indicated by a check in the box. I happen to know that Notify RD Delete is the rule that puts white and red messages into the priority area. Let's look at each executable line of this rule. Now, the first several lines are comments. Comments have // in the first two columns, and they explain what the rule does. Let's go through the subsequent executable lines. In order for rules to fire automatically against inbound messages, you need a trigger. What this trigger does is examine the inbound message's color, and if it's white or red, then this rule fires and subsequent actions are invoked. Mark message permanent is what puts the message in the priority area. Continuing on, the next two lines add a command to that message in the priority area. That is, right-click on it and you have the option of manually deleting it out of the priority area. The last line, monitor message, actually calls another RDL2 rule which tracks this message. If it's a WTOR, for instance, that gets resolved and turns from white to green, then it is automatically taken out of the priority area. Keep in mind that there is extensive help on how to use these rules, not to mention the extensive rule set that comes with the product. We will get more into the intricacies of rules in other sessions, but for now, we're just concentrating on triggering. Okay, so back to the viewer. Let's filter down to just one of the sessions so we see only its messages, BMC-A. Now note that not much is happening as far as this rule firing. Why? No red or white messages are coming in at the moment. D-T gives output, but that doesn't help because remember, only red and white make the trigger in the rule fire. So let's go in and change the rule so that it fires more readily, just so we know it's working and we can see the result. Back to the rule. Remember the DT we issued? It always outputs IEE as part of its message. So let's key on that to trigger, since we know that we can easily produce this. Let's comment out the existing trigger and add the following. So what's this line statement doing? We are looking at the message's text, not the color this time. And we are doing a string find to check for IEE as part of its message string. Greater than or equal to 0 means found. Okay, let's add another section that does something in addition to putting the message in the priority area. Let's send a message to the viewer. We're going to create a yellow message that says the rule fired, and we're going to put this in the message area. Okay, now we need to recompile. Let's see if I got the syntax right. No, I didn't. Looks like there's a problem on line 18. So let's fix that and try again. And now it compiles. It's not necessary to recycle the server or any viewer that's running. Simply click on Apply to All here. All right, let's go back to the viewer and test. So it was the output from DT, so let's try that. Now this message shows up in the priority area, and we got a message in yellow too. Let's get rid of the message in the priority area. Remember, we do this by right-clicking. So all of this is RDL2. Now, the more modern way of creating rules is not writing or modifying code, but filling out forms. Let's do the same triggering actions, but in a form. So back to the admin page. Let's bring in a new rule and make it a form. Click on Add Form, and let's give it a name. We can trigger on several different sources, including SNMP and Baroque events, but let's keep it to console messages. We could say color, but let's go straight for contains. And we'll put that IEE string here. Trigger conditions mostly apply to managing multiple iterations of the same message. We don't need to worry about that right now. Okay, so down to actions. Let's mark message in the priority area and monitor it, as well as send an alert to the viewers. And here we need to put that message that we're going to send to the viewers. And you can see the various other options we have here. Again, this is material for a more in-depth session. So let's move on and try out this rule. We need to save, and then scroll down and apply this rule. And then unapply the RDL2 version. And we hit activate, so this change takes place immediately, even in currently running viewers. Okay, let's test. We'll issue the DT, and we see the message in the priority area, as well as the message to the viewers in the message area. So keep in mind that we have two ways of implementing rules, RDL2 code and forms. That's it for this session. If you'd like to be notified of upcoming events, simply subscribe to this channel. And if you like what you see, hit the like button. That's it for now. Thank you and see you next time.